I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be making her want you again. Well, I love this topic because this is such a fucking powerful thing for a guy to get when it finally clicks with him. Because there's a delicate balance between being direct and making a move on your girl and also hanging back, being mysterious so she can sit around and basically wonder where she stands with you. And when you look at what you see on TV, what you see in the movies, they always show that the guy's always chasing and running after the fucking girl and writing love letters and all this fucking bullshit and that it works. And then most guys are, I mean, when you think about it, when you watch thousands of television programs and movies from the time you're a child till the time you grow up, I mean, you can't help but become emotionally anchored and conditioned just because of the way the movies and the TV shows are edited with the music and the soundtrack, and they just like, you know, they hit you like with a like, you know, a shocking emotional thing, and then there's an emotional soundtrack that goes along with it that causes you to feel and elicit a certain type of emotion internally, and you literally become anchored emotionally to thinking and being and showing up in ways that are completely fucked up and dysfunctional, and they may work in the world of make-believe, but they don't even come close to working in real life. And what's so beautiful about this is, like, once a guy gets this, he realizes, fuck, I really don't have to do jack shit to make this girl want me. I take her out, I show her a great time, make sure she's doing most of the talking by asking questions, creating an opportunity for sex to happen, and then in between our next date, before I get to the point where I'm ready to call her for another date, usually she's calling me and blowing up my phone or saying things like, oh, I had a great time the other night, I've been thinking about you, and so when you see those things, you just set and make the next date. And I get an email here from a guy who found out about my work recently. He's only watched a few videos, apparently, and he was basically having problems with his girlfriend, and he came to realize after watching a few videos that he basically been acting like the woman in the relationship. And so she was kind of ignoring his texts. She was, you know, when he'd call, she'd let it go to voicemail. Sometimes she would just not even respond to his text because what he did is what most guys do is they call, they leave a message, they don't hear from her, they can't wait, so they call again. And what happens is you never give the girl a chance to miss you or to think about you or wonder where she stands because you're always fucking blowing up her phone and telling her. So she never gets the time and the space to feel her emotions for you and feel what she feels for you because you're always in her face or blowing up her phone with messages and stuff and basically acting like a woman. And so he says, hey, Corey, I made a PayPal donation to you on your site, and I will definitely make more because, number one, I'm taking up your valuable time, and number two, the info is awesome. You are dead on right. And I'd like to say, well, I might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. This is so badass that I have to let you know just how 3 or 4 videos got me started along the right path of being the one that is chased instead of chasing in a relationship. And if you read an article, I can't remember what the name of it is, it's just basically when it comes to women and how they interact with men, you can look at how little girls are with their fathers. And you think of it this way. You think of masculine energy or a man as being like the mountain. And you think of a woman kind of like Mother Nature. She's like the wind, basically. And what does Mother Nature do to the mountain? You know, some days it's beaten down and sunny, and it's beautiful out, and it's calm. There might be a nice breeze. And then other days, there might be tornadoes, or hail, or wind, or snow, or sleet, or just really crappy, crummy weather. But at the end of the day, the mountain's just fucking there. It's always there. It doesn't fucking move. You don't see the mountain running after the wind. And women are completely like that. And so the wind disappears, and then sometimes it comes back later, just like a cat. And that's the beauty of it. It's about being the rock. And if you watch little girls and how they interact with their fathers, when they need love and reassurance, they go sit in daddy's lap and they tell him all about their problems, and he just sits there and he listens to her and really, wow, what else, honey? And she just keeps talking, and then when she feels all better, she's like, okay, thanks, daddy, I feel all better now, I love you. And then she hops up off his lap and goes run around the house or chasing her friends outside or doing whatever she's doing. And a little while later, She'll come back in, sit in his lap, and say, Daddy, this boy said this to me, and I don't know what it means. And she'll ask for his advice. And so what's so cool about that is when you understand that, is that this is, in a way, basically how they act when they become adults. Is they wonder, it's like they want the mountain. It's like you be her rock, be her mountain. You don't see the fucking mountain chasing after the wind, do you? You don't see the mountain chasing Mother Nature. Of course not. The mountain's just fucking there. It's always there. It never goes anywhere. It's just there. And that's the way that's the analogy that you should approach it with. And it's just so cool to see that and you understand that dynamic, and it just really makes things effortless and easy. You can go about your life, focus on your purpose, and when your girl hasn't heard about you, she's been, shopping all day or thinking about you and just how awesome last night was, or what what you did that morning, and then so she's thinking about it, she's feeling her emotions, she hasn't heard from you, and you're busy at work, you're just taking care of your purpose, you're out slaying the dragon, so to speak, and then she texts you, I was at the mall, and I was telling my girlfriend so-and-so how awesome you are, and what a great boyfriend, or what a great husband you are, what a great lover you are, and blah, 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 and then you just say, oh, thanks for sharing that, baby. It's like, what time are you coming over here? So you can get round 2 tonight. And just set the next date, set the next appointment, because it's just like the little girl going to her daddy. But obviously when she becomes an adult, she goes to her man much the same way. It's like when she wants to see him, she calls him, she initiates texts and calls and things of that nature. And so he says, I sent you a message earlier today about how I fell into the insecure bitch role in my relationship and how I pretty much drove her away with constant texts and calls. And just like I said, chasing women will guarantee rejection always, every single fucking time. Why? Because you're basically acting like a woman when you blow a woman's phone up. I was also supposed to have a talk over the phone today, and I was sure I had totally fucked this relationship up and we were going to break up. So this is what happened. I watched some of your videos and decided not to be the chick anymore. Good for you. I deleted my girl's info from my phone and did not text or call. She actually texted me later at 6-ish and said, you must be mad at me because I did not hear from you today. And I replied, not at all mad. Good. Very being aloof, kind of just, oh, you're being silly, honey. And I would say, one thing I would say is this guy, you're a little in danger of becoming a cold dick or a cold fish. And obviously your girl, let's read a little further. He says, I replied, after he said he was not at all mad, he says, I got another text around 10:30 p.m. saying, night, night, I love you a lot, and I was thinking about us today. That's awesome. It's like, because she's wondering where she stands, and you gave her some space so she could actually think about you and feel her emotions for a change, instead of just seeing all the, the texts and shit blowing up her phone. And when she says that, she says, I haven't heard from you all day, and I've been thinking about you, and I really like the fact that I'm wondering where I stand with you, and it's causing my interest level to go up, my emotions to bubble, and I just had to share that with you. And when I get a text like that from a girl, I said, oh, baby, that's sweet. You need to get your little ass over here and spoon with me tonight, and we'll see what pops up. So he says, well, I did not text her back or call. Usually I would text her all day and try to say goodnight. That's a bad way to go. So good for you for changing your approach. Lately I was getting almost no response to her texts and usually voicemails when I called her. But today she texted me without having to nag her. What a novel concept. Focus on being a man and taking care of your shit in your own life. And your girl will miss you and she'll contact you when she misses you, which she did. I'm fully ready to walk away and mean it. And I would say this is not necessary. The article I wrote, The Best Strategy to Get an Ex Back, that is the only time you walk away is when a girl breaks up with you or she changes the terms of your relationship and says, I just want to be friends. And when she does that, it's like, hey, I'm not interested in that. But I'd love to see you. I'd love to hang out. Give me a call. You can change your mind. And that's when you do it. But in this case, this is your girlfriend here. And she's texting you how she loves you and she's, how she was thinking about us. So that means that she's thinking about becoming closer, pulling you in a little bit. He said, I would like to continue the relationship if possible, but I know I need to reverse roles first and make her wonder where she stands. What do you think? I would say you don't want to start ignoring her and being a fucking asshole, because I struggle with that If you read my book, which obviously you haven't yet, but once you read it, you'll understand that it took me about 1.5 years with this one particular girlfriend I was dating to figure out the fine line and the balance between being mysterious and distant and also making a move and pulling her in closer. And sometimes I was too cold and distant, and it made things go sideways. And sometimes I chased too much, which also made it go sideways. And it was just back and forth until I learned that balance. But it really made me strong as fuck inside, internally, emotionally, just because I was totally, completely head over heels in love with this girl. And she loved me too. Eventually I got her to fall completely head over heels in love with me. She wanted to get married. She says, I'll help me get engaged soon, and blah, blah, blah. The whole 9 yards. But it was a motherfucker. And let me tell you, it's like, because there wasn't anybody out there that could help me and who understood what I was going through internally, and telling me exactly what to do and what move to make. But I eventually figured it out. And so that's why I can read stuff like this, and I can tell exactly where you're going wrong. And I would say you're going a little bit, if you keep going the way you're going, you're going to turn into an asshole and a cold fish, and she's not going to like that. And that's not a good way to go either. And so you got to read my book. You can't just watch a few videos or a few articles and just like cherry pick information, because these articles and these videos are me answering questions that guys are having, or that are challenges that they're running into when they're applying what I teach. And so you got to learn the baseline knowledge and materials. So download my book from Amazon.com. It's only 99 cents. You can download it to any electronic device, cell phone, PC, Mac, whatever you got, tablet. You can download it and read it there, so you learn the baseline material. But this is the thing you got to understand, is that when a woman contacts you, like, she's being all sweet, and so basically what happens is once she starts to miss you, she'll start calling you and she'll start talking about her feelings and stuff like that. And when you see that as an opportunity, it's kind of like she's coming to the mountain, so to speak. And she's unsure of herself. And so when she does that, you just say, well, get your ass over here. Or I want to take you to dinner. Let's go to dinner Friday night. Or it's like, when are you free this week? I want to take you out to dinner. Let her respond. Or you say, in this particular case, because you feel like you've been a weak bitch with her, basically, just invite her over. Say, when are you free this week? Let her tell you the day and just say, dinner, my place, 8 p.m. Thursday. Wear something looking really hot and bring a bottle of wine or whatever it is you guys like to drink. And then you take care of the food and figure out something to cook that you can, or something that you can cook together, because when you're interacting in the kitchen, it gives her a reason to touch you and be close to you. And then, I know from my own experience, usually what happens when I start cooking dinner with my girlfriends, we usually have sex before we even get to cooking dinner. And then so we'll have sex after dinner. And then after we get cleaned up and we're laying in bed at night and we start cuddling and spooning, usually something pops up, and then, we start having sex again, and maybe at 3 or 4 in the morning. It all depends on how much you love each other and how much time you spend around each other. But the key to remember is that when she contacts you, it's just like the little girl reaching out to her daddy, wanting to know, do you still love me, Daddy? Do you still care about me? And so she's insecure, and so your response is kind of like, just like what you said here, when she says, oh, you must be mad at me, you're like, oh, not at all. It's like, oh, you're kind of being silly, honey. It's like, oh, don't be so silly. Of course I love you. Of course I adore you. Get your little fucking ass over here, and we'll play hide to salami. Or, you know what, I got something for you, and it's big, and it's round, and it's got a head on it, and it's not a quarter. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 1 or 2 paragraphs maximum detailing your situation, your questions, your challenges, and you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I got a boatload of email from the internet, and I also get plenty of it from my paying phone coaching customers, and I obviously got to concentrate on their emails first, but be patient and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away so I can help you with a challenge or a specific situation you're having, the quickest way to get me to help you is to book a paid phone coaching session by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions.